I'm here in Lanzarote, the Canary Islands, an island that is struggling and is in crisis due to over-tourism. That is what you're going to believe if you read the mainstream media. Well, this is what they're saying now, that the island is on the brink of collapse. I'm here at peak time in the afternoon, lunchtime, to see the lunchtime rush in one of the main resorts here in Lanzarote, Playa Blanca. And I'm going to show to you just how much nonsense this really is. And I do urge the media in the UK to maybe focus on your own tourism issues that you have that are having an effect on your economy and on your infrastructure. Because here in Lanzarote, the island depends on tourism, and your poor reporting has a more negative effect on this island than tourism. And I'm going to show you why. Come on, let's go and have a real look at what's going on in the Canary Islands, and I'll tell you the real news. Let's go. So before we debunk what they're telling you, I need you to do me a favour. I need you to watch this video to the end because it's really, really important. I also want you to make sure that you follow this channel because I'll bring you up-to-date real news on what's going on in the Canary Islands and travel in general. And also share this around to as many people as you can, even to the press themselves, and show them just how dangerous they're being by reporting things that are completely and utterly incorrect and scaremongering people along the way. And of course, make sure to like, make sure to follow, and make sure to drop a comment with your opinions as well, because you might not agree with me, and that's fine. You have freedom to do that. Come on, let's go and have a little look around. Now, I came down here peak time, lunchtime, just to get the lunchtime rush to show you what it's all about, because if you listen to what they're saying in the news, well, you'd imagine not to be able to walk down here, would you? You'd imagine it to be like sardines. You'd imagine this beach to be overrunning. You'd imagine the island, well, to be sinking, wouldn't you? The way they're going on about it. So if you did see my last video on tourists not being welcome in the Canary Islands, and there's going to be mass demonstrations on the 20th of April. Well, there is going to be demonstrations on the 20th of April, but they're going to be at the town hall. And although they are a little bit to do with tourism, they are more to do with the fact that they're building bigger hotels, they're building more holiday homes than they are houses and places for people to live. And that's the big issue here with the locals, that the rents are so high and that houses have been rented out to tourists, but yet they still build more tourist houses and tourist hotels rather than looking after the locals themselves. So believe me, there's not going to be a rampage of Canarian people walking down this street telling you lot to go home. And if you look at my other video, you'll see exactly what the locals have to say. So you can see there's people out shopping, there's people on the beach, there's people having lunch. It's just a typical holiday resort. The media back home are painting a picture of absolute sheer devastation. Of course, tourism is going to have an effect on the island and the resources, but believe me, they've definitely got things in place to assure that your holiday goes smoothly. Of course, as well as the tourist hotspots and the bars and the restaurants and shops down here, there are many attractions as well that visitors frequent. So let's go and have a look at some of the main attractions here in Lanzarote, and I'll show you just how busy they are. Let's go. These are the camels in Lanzarote, one of the biggest attractions and places to visit. Let's see how busy it is. So here we go. These are the camels. Now, I'm not a big fan of the camels with the weight of some people. It could be the only thing that is collapsing on the island of Lanzarote. What do you reckon? So you can see it's quite busy down here. There's lots of cars and lots of people. And don't get me wrong, in the summertime, this place does get very busy. But what tourist destination does not get busy during peak season? As far as the island being in a state of collapse and oversaturated, well, I think these guys have pretty much got this under control, don't you? So this is Tim and Fire National Park, the #1 attraction in Lanzarote. It actually is a live volcano. This is like the pyramids in Egypt to the Canary Islands. So let's see just how busy and oversaturated this place is And is that volcano ready to erupt? I tell you what, I'm ready to erupt with all these news reports that are coming in. It's nonsense. So again, during the summertime here, it is very busy with cars. We certainly recommend that you book a tour, and you can do that on our website, www.travelon.world. Get yourself a tour and you won't have to wait in line with the rest of the hire cars. But as you can see, it's not too bad today. In summertime, yes, there are queues, but like I've said throughout this whole video, what tourist destination around the world is not busy during peak season? And they're getting through very, very quickly, look. Hardly a wait at all. And there we go, one man to manage everything. Hardly overrun. Let's get to the next place. Welcome to the village of Geyser. This has been voted one of the prettiest villages in Europe, and it's home to the town hall. Now, for an island that's about to collapse, you would expect everyone to be running around in a panic, wouldn't you? That's what they'd have you believe. But listen, can you hear anything going on? Let's go and take a little look around and I'll show you just how peaceful the village of Geyser is. And this is a tourist hotspot as well. So here we go, this beautiful, small, quaint village here in Lanzarote, the island that is saturated and on the brink of collapse, has this beautiful church, look. It's so peaceful around this area. And like I said, it's a very popular place for tourists to come and visit. It's part of many tours. And as you can see, everybody is super busy. And this is the oldest bar in Lanzarote, 1890. Let's go and take a look. So this is like, well, the local bar for the local people and the workers, look. Lots of people in here. They do tapas. And there you go, busy, busy, busy in Lanzarote, look. There's the civil protection. Clearly overrun. Grabbing himself a lovely coffee. And this, guys, is your island in a state of collapse. I mean, come on. You couldn't get much more chill than that, could you? Welcome to El Golfo, another main tourist attraction here in Lanzarote, and it's free, so you'd expect it to be busy. And I tell you what, the collapse of the island, just look at this place. It's falling apart. Let's go and take a look. Saturated by tourism. Brits abroad, acting crazy. It's just overkill, isn't it? Beautiful views, look. Absolutely gorgeous. And let's take a little look around here, because as the news would have you believe, the island is collapsing. Can I just say, this is the walkway that hundreds and thousands of people walk down to visit this beautiful attraction here at El Golfo. And just look how spotlessly clean it is, how well maintained it is. And does it look like it's falling apart to you? I don't think so. What do you reckon? This place here and the main hospital in Arrecife is the equivalent of the NHS. Now, the health service here in Lanzarote is phenomenal. And on the island, they have another hospital, which is a private hospital called Hospiten, and many, many small clinics around the island, which accept your travel insurance. So these places really do not have much of an impact with tourism whatsoever. But what I do ask the media is maybe you look at the problems with your own health service in your own country before saying that our health service is overrun. Because look, there's not many people here at all. Instead, the private hospitals are ready, willing and waiting to take your travel insurance, because they're a business. I'm here at the local bus station here in Playa Blanca, Lanzarote. Now, the bus service in the Canary Islands is fantastic. The buses are brand new, they're spotlessly clean, and they go around the whole island. Over the last couple of years, they've really invested in local transport, and it's so easy to get around. This has been done to make it easier for workers out of different resorts to travel to and from work. And like I said, it is an amazing service. I have done a full video all about the bus service. If you want to have a look through the channel, you'll be able to find that. But also behind me is the local police station, just in case you misbehave while you're on holiday, which I hope you don't, because that's what they're trying to avoid more than anything. But the police service here is also amazing. Now you've got the local police and you've got the Guardia Civil, and you do feel really safe wherever you go in the Canary Islands. The police have always got a presence. They're always around to help, support, as well as the ambulance service, the fire service, everything. The services here are amazing. Another thing about the police here on the islands is you tend to respect them. There's no messing around. They know exactly what they're doing, and believe me, if you step out of line, they will put you in your place. Now, I've seen a lot of things online from the police back in the UK and Ireland, and it seems to me that they get little to no respect, and they're also not given the authority to police properly. Here in the Canary Islands, they are, and I tell you what, it works. I feel safe, and those that come here to Lanzarote certainly feel safe on their holiday, and that is what it's all about. So we have not one, not two, but we have 3 ferries here in Lanzarote to take you over to Fuerteventura, which is just a 25-minute crossing. 2 of these ferries are huge, and they take cars as well. One of them, which you can see behind me, is for tourists only. So we have the infrastructure to flip between the islands. And there doesn't look to be many people on that ferry heading over. Clearly not saturated, is it? So there you go, from what was once a quaint little fishing village here in Playa Blanca, Lanzarote, to what they consider mass tourism. Now, don't get me wrong, there does have to be a limit with the amount of hotels they're building, with the amount of accommodation they're building for tourists and not for the locals, with the infrastructure of the island, the water, the electrics, everything like that. There does have to be a limit. And I do understand the local people here that can't get affordable housing and can't find anywhere to live in order to do their job. And that here is the real problem. However, if you listen to the mainstream media, well, they're painting a picture that is completely different, aren't they? And they're saying that tourists should not come here, that tourists are not welcome, and that the island is basically on the verge of collapse. As you can see from what I've shown you today, it is absolute nonsense. And the reporting they're doing is going to have more of a negative effect on this island than mass tourism itself. Yes, there are problems, but there are problems all over the world, including the UK and Ireland. So maybe the press should be focusing their attention on that rather than picking on the small little Canary Islands. Because believe me, they do want tourism, they do want you here, but they do want it to be limited and managed correctly. And that's not your fault, is it? That's the fault of those that are in charge. So I do hope they are listening, and I do hope that the mainstream media are listening. And if you do want to talk about it, mainstream media, feel free to contact me. I'll gladly come on and tell you all about it. Anyway, that's enough from me, Mr. TravelON. I hope you've enjoyed the video. All I've got to say is welcome to the Canary Islands. Come over, respect the islands when you do come over. The last thing that anybody wants is the sort of Brits abroad. This is a beautiful island, so respect their culture, respect their island, keep everything clean and tidy, spend some money, and that is all that you need to do, and enjoy this beautiful place. I'll see you in the next video. If you've got any questions, please make sure to drop me a comment, and don't forget, share this video around and follow us on all our social channels to bring you all the real information about travel and the Canary Islands in general. See you later.